What's good, y'all? This is another RMP React. This one's a little bit different because it's going to be more of a review than a react. Yeah. We are reviewing...
Do you want to just call it a review?
No, because then we have to make a new playlist.
Yeah, fair. You're right. Never mind. Don't clutter up the playlist.
So, no, this is a react / review of Dark Lights. Mark Phillips, one of the co-creators of RDC.
World,
one of the, I guess, main media people you see. When you see RDC, you see Mark Phillips.
Those LeBron James skits.
Yeah.
Any skit you see.
Any skit.
The king of Instigate and all that stuff, man.
He created his manga Dark Lights. He's talked about this before. If you're a fan of RDC, you've heard of this.
For a while, actually.
Yeah, for a long time.
About it. Yep.
But he did allude to this recently that it was in the works. And so not too long ago, he dropped a post on Twitter. First chapter's out. 75 pages in all.
And guess what? Rick and I both read it.
Yeah, we read it. And so here's our review. Also link in the description if you want to read it yourself. So, just as a synopsis, spoiler warning.
Spoiler. Even if we spoil it for you, watch this video and read it because it's still dope.
Because, yeah, why not? Yep. So basically, it takes place in a world where this specific neighborhood with these specific people, like these group of people, get powers when the sun sets. So when the sun goes down, nighttime,
a bunch of people get abilities.
Powers.
Yep.
Right? We deal with the 4 young main characters. They're all 15, so they're young adults. We deal with the main character, Vincent, the one with the electricity powers. You got JJ, the metallic boxer. You got Isaac, the troublemaking ice user. And then you got Ezekiel. We're not sure what his full abilities are, but he's definitely like the mature wisdom type.
Yeah, he did say in the manga at some point that he sensed people coming. So maybe it has something to do with that. Yeah. We didn't really get to see too much of it. Yeah. And then you have
Brianna.
I don't know what her power is, but she looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, she's very gloomy in the
gloomy.
manga. So I would assume she has a dark, and if she doesn't, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, if it's if it's a positive power.
Yeah, no, that would be hilarious.
She creates life or some shit like that. That'd be crazy.
But yeah, just as a synopsis, a quick one. Basically, manga starts off with who we later find out to be Vincent's father. He's going through his neighborhood. He meets an old friend of his, basically tells him he feels like something's shifting. He needs help. And the old friend is like, I just stopped by to see you. I don't think I've changed, and I don't think you've changed, and I just don't think
we don't
whatever's
going
to happen
on how to do things.
Yeah, it's going to work out.
Yeah.
And then Vincent's father gets run down on by a gang, and they kill him. Right? Fast forward 5 years. We see Vincent in a classroom, and it basically just expounds on the world a bit. We get introduced to each character in their own way, showing their personality. And then alludes to Vincent not having abilities as of yet. And his father being a cop that we find out, and he's labeled as a snitch because it's very gang-ridden area because of the abilities. People have basically bonded up and
it's the hood.
Basically bonded up and are trying to get their piece of the city. And Vincent usually stays inside, but because of something that happened, his friend's in trouble. He can't not be there. He goes there. Life's in danger a bit, and he awakens his ability.
Yep. And previously, before we didn't get to say this, previously, he was the only one in his friend group, at least,
who didn't
have an ability. So for him to be so gun-ho to throw himself into trouble proves that he's a hero.
Well, it proves that he's willing to do stuff for
their friends. Yeah. So what we want to do is, first off, before we get into anything else, is give Mark his flowers.
Yes.
Because just creating this, publishing it, doing all the work to get the artwork done and everything put together, and putting out the first chapter, 75 pages for free. Is all beautiful.
It's amazing.
Obviously, this isn't the only black manga or comic book out, but creating a black manga written by black people, created by black people.
With black people in it.
Is just beautiful. So huge shout out to Mark for that just alone.
Yeah.
What else, Rick?
It just, like you said, kind of being willing to take that leap. Like, he didn't have to do this.
He didn't.
This is something that he's, I guess, always wanted to do.
Yep.
And so for him to do it is already like, what more can this dude do?
No, because he literally could coast off being one of the funniest people on the internet and just vibe with that. But he's choosing to take that step forward, and that's just dope.
Yeah, he keeps evolving. One thing I'll say about the manga is that I feel like it tries to capture the essence of black communication. There's a
Definitely.
lot of our slang in here, a lot of our verbiage, our way of talking. Sometimes I feel like maybe it doesn't translate well, but it's the first chapter.
Yeah,
so,
it's the first chapter.
So that is what it is. But just you get a chill. You get hold on.
Hold on. Yeah,
relax.
yeah,
like
yeah.
you get all those. You get a dude trying to get two baddies. He was trying to get two baddies.
Yeah, first chapter.
Yeah.
We know how he's gonna go.
Two.
For two.
Not one.
Because they like, well, who you asking out on a date? He
He's
said,
like, both of y'all for real. Yeah, for real.
hey, that's my type of guy. Man. Shoot your shot.
That's your brother?
Yeah, but I will say this. My first gripe out of all gripes was one small little part where the gang was looking for Vincent's father in the beginning. Spoiler. And one of the gang members was like, search the area. And I was like, I don't like that part because what gang do you know is organized enough to say
boys in Arkham be on that type of time. Like
that's,
the Batman's here.
See, but those are goons, right? Not gang members from the hood.
You saying black people can't be educated?
They can be educated, but gang members saying search the area, I've never heard.
So what should they have said instead?
Find that nigga. On God.
All right.
And then 2 gunshots in there.
On Fifth.
Oh, Fifth. the gang name is 50 Visions. On Fifth. Find that. On God, find that nigga.
Oh, great.
That was my only gripe from the intro,
Yes.
at least. But other than that, the dialogue seemed really great.
Yeah. One thing, I guess we'll get into the gripe part. Before we get into this, I want to say that Mark has already discussed in like issues with DreamCon and whatnot that constructive criticism is needed. If it's coming from a place of understanding, if it's coming from a place of genuinely wanting to see something be better, criticism is involved. I'm not going to have too much criticism on the manga as a whole. These are just going to be my opinions on it.
Same. Yeah.
I would feel like Mark, coming from a creator, even me, a small-time creator, I've read tens of thousands of manga. I've read thousands of comic books. And this is not me saying like, oh, this is bad because of this or whatnot. This is just my feelings on it. And, we like making content. So we're just gonna say how we feel on the internet, but this is in no way us disparaging Mark or RDC for anything they create or this manga as a whole. And, but I have my gripes and I'm allowed to have them.
I do have my gripes. And to piggyback on what Rick said a little bit, I haven't read as many manga or comics as Rick, but I've watched a lot. I've listened to a lot of audiobooks. Shout out Comic Story. Yep. He's got me through a lot. All my comic book knowledge, majority of it is through Comic Story. And obviously all the stuff we all grew up watching, Justice League, Avengers, all that stuff. So I know a little bit of something as far as storytelling goes. But I also have my gripes.
Yes.
And just to add a little caveat, even though we're going to try to be respectful about it because we love you, Mark, we're going to be joking. We're going to be
and
joking.
I feel like you would understand it, but this is more for everybody else.
Yeah.
And if it makes you feel better, just think we only have like 400 subscribers, so what does it matter? And if that can make you go to bed at night, then so be it, you sick fuck.
Badooch. Yeah. All right, let's get it. So Rick, I'm going to let you go first because mine is a little something.
So one of my easier gripes is, I don't know, the fact that he has electricity powers. That's we had a skit about this.
Yeah. Before we read this.
Way before this. Yeah. We had a skit about it, black people being delegated electricity powers for some reason. You can kind of tell that this was maybe on purpose. There are some inspirations here. One of them being Black Lightning. If you could tell by the Dark Lights logo, it looks a lot like the CW
and I
Black
didn't
Lightning
notice that until
logo.
you pointed it out to me. Yeah.
And so I don't feel like this is without reason. Also reminds me personally of the Get Backers. If you ever seen that anime, there's a I want to say his name was Jinga or Genji. I want to say Jinga. He was known as the Lightning Emperor. He ruled like whatever the slums was in there. He had electricity powers. His hair spiked up when he used them as well, which was always dope to me. And so I just from this pose here gives me definite Get Backer vibes.
I do agree with the Black Lightning thing. I didn't really watch Get Backer, so I don't recall that too much, but it does remind me of Black Lightning. Something that this very much reminded me of from the get-go was Dakota. And what I mean by that is Static Shock.
Okay.
This, no disrespect because it's not exactly the same, but it very much gave me the vibes of Bang Baby's Dakota without static. And then we find out that Vincent, the main character, had electricity powers. Get backers. I've seen that somewhere. I just can't remember.
No, he had electricity powers.
Okay. All right. I'll put that. I'll put the Get Backers in this video. Oh, see, yeah. Mark. Mark. Brother. You stole their whole
No, that's crazy. Get Backers is way different.
At least on the cover.
Don't do that.
But yeah, it gives very much, at least in the first chapter, Bang Baby vibes. The odd way that their abilities work or how they got it. We don't know.
Lightning Emperor was his name. I think I said
Lightning Emperor.
Yeah, Lightning Emperor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it gives me Bang Baby vibes, and that was kind of like, it's not a bad thing, but it was just kind of like, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
You know. Also, Black Lightning as well, similar, is kind of like how they build the community, but maybe that's just because, you know, the black community in a lot of different places is very similar. So maybe that could be a reason for it.
I guess one other thing that I would possibly say on it is just, like I said, some of the tone just didn't feel like natural.
Okay.
While there was a lot that spoke to like black communication, there was a lot of stuff that I felt like a little phoned in. I know you had that one gripe about the gang.
Yeah, Search Theory. That was the only thing as far as dialogue that I had an issue with. Yeah. I'm not sure what was something that stood out to you, Rick?
It wasn't more so the when all the like main characters were speaking together, then it was very fluid.
Yeah.
But when like the side characters would get involved, like the pedestrians and stuff, or like the teachers, it just didn't feel authentic. It just maybe because they were older characters talking to younger characters, it just didn't feel.
Man, what if that's purposeful?
It could, yeah.
Because you know how Charlie with the Peanuts, the adults, they just want.
Yeah. So that was one thing. Even some of the like some of the fodder characters in this first chapter, D Murder, K Killer.
Oh wait. Mark, what the fuck with those names? I'm not. Rick will tell you, y'all don't know this because we haven't gone public with certain things.
Yeah.
But Rick knows I'm terrible with naming certain things.
Yeah.
You're on my level with naming.
D Murder and K Killer.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I will say that.
And the 50 Vicious or the So Vicious. Was it 50?
It was either 50 Vicious or So Vicious. I prefer 50 Vicious.
They're just not good.
Yeah, I didn't love that. But I mean, Mark. We don't know what his life is like, but he seems like a guy similar to us. So maybe he just was like, let me just throw something on there. Yeah. So that's fair. Another issue that I had, Rick, regarding powers again. One of the villains, not the main villain that you see on the cover, but one of the villains turns into an ape.
Yeah.
I did not like that at all.
Yeah.
And it's just playing into the two tropes that people give black people majority of the time. Electricity powers being one, and two being animal-based powers.
Yeah.
And in the first chapter, the main character and so far main quote-unquote villain were the tropes. And I just felt like they could have been something different.
Yeah, I feel like that's
I would have
fair.
been fine with the Ebon. I would have been fine with that.
Ebon's powers are very creative.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. At the end of the day, I feel like this is a great starting point. I feel like this story has a lot to expand on: the world, how it works, the power systems, if there's anything that kind of influences what powers someone would have, like a personality or like just
who your parents
or if it's a genetic component, how people got it. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I wanna know what Mark has in store for this. I'm not against anything of this. Keep going. Those were just my personal gripes.
Yeah,
obviously.
definitely. Yeah.
They're not even things that I would want to change. These are just things
just
that
something
I've
that I
seen
noticed
about
and
it,
I didn't love. But I definitely would like to see where this goes. I would like to see this animated, like we said. I know it's really early, but Rick, from somebody that's read a lot of manga and stuff, how long does it usually take for?
It takes a while.
Takes a while.
Takes a while.
So farther than the first chapter.
They're not working by any like set standard.
That is true. So, they could just, if they wanted to just pay somebody to do it.
Yeah, they could pitch this. Avatar didn't start out as a comic or anything. So,
okay. Well, so like they're not beholden by like a company, so to speak. Okay, I got you.
They can do whatever.
Quick question, Rick. Do you think
still going?
I'm sorry, we'll end it after this. Do you think the tropes are purposeful? Do you think Mark is gonna like play into that, or do you think that's just what he wanted?
I think maybe at the beginning when he was thinking this idea, they weren't necessarily purposeful because he said he's been thinking about this a long time.
That's fair. Yeah.
And the connection between black people realizing what black people were getting in terms of power.
Right, he could have already had.
Yeah, he could have been influenced by the environment around him. Like he could have been watching Static and
once you make a character, it's like
it's hard to let that go.
Yeah, I'd already made this. Yeah.
I think maybe now with the growth that he's had in creating, the things he's seen, the things he's learned, there are definitely things that could be made fun of later on in the story, just to let it be known that he knows and he understands and it's a thing, but it's just it just is what it is. And I'd be fine with that, but I don't know. Maybe I think
chapter 2, one of his boys is like, of course you get electricity.
Something
like that.
I just think this came from a very genuine place, and I think at the time that just was how it developed.
Came out. But yeah, that was just our reaction / review of Dark Lights.
Yes, sir.
Mark Phillips' first ever manga. Hopefully we get a lot more stuff from him.
Yes, sir.
Not just from comedy, but in this realm as well. Let us know what you guys think. Read it first.
Yep.
Come back to this video and comment down below what you think. Debate about it. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this, so... Tell Mark that we liked it.
I guess we can.
Yeah, tell Mark that we liked it.
We can add him.
Yeah. So, maybe we're pushing our luck. But make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ding that notification bell so you know every time we drop a video. And most of all, YouTube. What is it, Rick?
We love you guys.
Peace out.
We're not haters. I swear.
R&P moves, R&P groove, ayy. Yeah, I've been in the R&P mood, ayy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, ayy. R&P moves, R&P news, ayy. Yeah, now we making R&P